And sometimes when a person acts like he doesn't care, it's not an act. Well, you said it, Professor. Now, did you lie here, or are you lying to us today?
Hello, Patriots. Welcome back to Signal 76, the voice of common sense, the defenders of freedom, and the front line in America's battle for truth. If you're tired of the lies, the double standards, and the elite spin on everything from our borders to our schools, then you've just found your home. Today's video is one of the most important ones we've ever done. We're reacting to a Senate hearing that exposes everything wrong with the radical left's immigration agenda. Senator John Kennedy, one of the few real leaders left in Washington, rips the mask off this coordinated campaign to weaken our borders, dismantle law enforcement, and redefine America. This hearing wasn't just a debate, it was a showdown between truth and propaganda. Before we dive deep, hit that subscribe button right now. Click like, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share this video far and wide. Watch until the very end, because what you're going to hear will absolutely open your eyes to just how far the left is willing to go to undermine this nation. This is about family, law, and survival. This is about protecting America.
DACA, as we're talking about it. So if we extend and legalize DACA, that's the standard that's being used at this point. Senator Kennedy, you're next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all the members of our panel for being here today. Ms. Nobles, I'm sorry. I don't have a daughter. I have a son. If what happened to your daughter happened to my son, I don't know if I could ever recover. I don't know why bad things happen to good people. If I make it to heaven, I'm going to ask. I'm just sorry.
Thank you.
I don't know anybody in the United States Senate who has worked harder to implement and control, well, let me amend that, to implement an immigration policy that looks like somebody designed it on purpose than Senator John Cornyn. The problem we've had in the last 3 years is that except until recently, when it became a political issue, President Biden just didn't care. And sometimes when a person acts like he doesn't care, it's not an act. And that's why we have way more, Professor Wong, than 60,000 minors, many of whom are being trafficked, sexually trafficked today in our country. And I suspect you know that. Professor Wong, you're a professor from California, is that right?
Yes.
And you were invited here as an expert today by our Democratic colleagues?
Yes.
Okay. You're on the board of directors of the California Immigrant Policy Center. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
And I'm looking at your website. You and the center believe, I want to quote, if that's okay. According to you and the center, quote, the immigration enforcement system is built on white supremacy, economic exploitation, and criminalization, and must be dismantled, end quote. Is that correct?
I'm not aware of that statement.
Here it is, right from your website, and you're on the board of directors. Do you believe that our immigration system is built on white supremacy?
No, sir.
Well, you said it, Professor. Now, did you lie here, or are you lying to us today?
No, I did not write that statement. That I'm on the board of directors of an organization called the California Immigrant Policy Center that advocates for legislative changes in the state of California to improve the lives of immigrants. I'm not aware of that statement.
Well, you ought to go look at your website.
Are you talking about my personal website?
I'm talking about the California Immigrant Policy Center.
Yes, I'm not aware of that statement
whose
on the
board you
California
sit.
Immigrant
You
Policy Center's
say
website.
That the immigration enforcement system in America today is, quote, built on white supremacy.
That's not my statement.
Yes, it is.
That's not my statement.
You're on the board. It's built on economic exploitation, and it's built on criminalization, and it must be dismantled. You also say, you in the center, that you want to, quote, strategically push ICE out of our communities across California, end quote. Wow.
So an extensive body of research shows that interior immigration enforcement, to the extent that ICE partners with local police, has chilling effects across immigrant communities and their families.
Did you listen to Ms. Noble's testimony?
Yes, I did, with great concern.
Yeah. You think getting rid of ICE is going to help young women not be raped and murdered by MS-13 gang members? Is that your answer to
No, that's
bringing
not.
justice to Mrs. Noble's daughter? Is
No.
to call her a white supremacist and say that she believes in economically exploiting people?
No, that's not. You are attributing a statement to me that I did not make.
Yes, sir, you did. It's on your website.
Time has expired, Senator. I think it's inappropriate to call people liars in this hearing. I hope that we'll be very careful. The witnesses are under oath, and to say that they are lying is to accuse them of something close to a crime. And I think that term should be carefully used.
Well, can I respond to that, Mr. Chairman?
When you get I'm going to recognize.
Now let's break it down. Senator John Kennedy opened his statement not with politics, but with compassion. He addressed a witness named Miss Nobles, whose daughter was horrifically murdered. And he said, with sincerity and strength, "If that happened to my son, I don't know if I could ever recover." That's not just rhetoric. That's real. That's a man speaking from the heart. Kennedy didn't stop there. He turned his attention to the utter failure of Joe Biden's immigration policies. For 3 long years, Biden and his administration have acted like the border isn't their problem. They've acted like law enforcement is the enemy. But here's the kicker. It's not an act. As Kennedy said, sometimes when a person acts like he doesn't care, it's not an act. That hit hard, because it's true. President Biden has allowed over 60,000 minors to flood into this country, many of whom are being trafficked, abused, and exploited. We're not just talking about illegal immigration anymore. We're talking about modern-day slavery, enabled by open border policies and soft on-crime leadership. Let me be crystal clear. This blood is on their hands. And then comes Professor Wong. She's a professor from California, invited to testify by the Democrats. She sits on the board of directors of the California Immigrant Policy Center. Now, what kind of organization is this? Let me tell you exactly what they say on their own website. According to them, America's immigration enforcement system is built on white supremacy, economic exploitation, and criminalization. And what's their solution? Dismantle it completely. Push ICE out of communities. Undermine federal law enforcement. This is not a fringe group. This is who Democrats bring to testify as experts. Senator Kennedy called her out, and rightly so. He read their words to her. And what did she do? She backpedaled. She denied knowledge of the statement, claimed she didn't write it. She said, "That's not my statement." But she's on the board. That means she's responsible. This is classic leftist maneuvering. They hide behind institutions and play dumb when called out. They benefit from radical messaging, but when it's exposed, suddenly it's not their words. But patriots, you can't have it both ways. If you sit on the board, you endorse the mission. You don't get to collect praise, power, and prestige from a radical organization, and then pretend you've never read their mission statement. Then came the real fire. Kennedy asked her if removing ICE would help stop young women from being raped and murdered by gangs like MS-13. She gave a vague, academic response. He pushed harder. She deflected again. And then Kennedy made it plain. This ideology is not about safety or justice. It's about power and control. Let's be honest. If you're defending gangs, traffickers, and illegal aliens over American citizens, you're not just wrong, you're dangerous. And if your solution to crime is to remove the police, then you're part of the problem. Now, here's the part that got me fired up. After Kennedy called her out, another senator stepped in, not to defend truth, not to defend victims, but to lecture Kennedy for using the word liar. Imagine that. They're more offended by strong words than by the death of a young girl. Think about that. In today's Democrat Party, truth is offensive, but treason is tolerated. You call out a lie, and they call you uncivil. You defend ICE, and they call you a white supremacist. You fight for American families, and they accuse you of xenophobia. That's the twisted world we live in, patriots. A world where facts are hate speech and feelings are policy. But here's the good news. More Americans are waking up. We're waking up to the reality that this isn't about immigration. It's about invasion. It's about overwhelming our systems, collapsing our values, and pushing an agenda that makes America unrecognizable. They want chaos so they can offer control. They want fear so they can offer federal solutions. But not on our watch. Here at Signal 76, we see through the lies. We stand with our ICE agents. We stand with the victims of illegal immigration. We stand with those who believe that laws matter, that sovereignty is sacred, and that America comes first. We demand accountability from our leaders. We demand truth from our institutions. And we demand that radical, anti-American ideologies be exposed and rejected. So here's your call to action. Subscribe to Signal 76 right now. Click that like button so we can push this video past the algorithms. Comment below with your thoughts. Do you believe ICE should be dismantled? Do you believe Biden's policies have made America safer? And most importantly, share this video with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. We are in a war of information. The mainstream media will not cover this story honestly. It's up to us, the patriots, the truth tellers, the defenders of liberty. We are not silent. We are not ashamed. And we are not backing down. Thank you for watching Signal 76. Stand tall, speak loud, and stay free. God bless our border agents. God bless the truth. And God bless the United States of America.